And then here come Jake walking with the Edomites with this ugly Christmas sweaters on.
You know what? What's crazy?
You ain't see him.
I ain't see
Like that was just the spirit while we were saying it. Here come Jay. He the only one with about 6 of them.
Yeah, I saw him. Yeah, you're the only one with him, bro. But he was the first. Our people were the first ones to partake of all that.
First one.
We're the first ones to really, because when you go to different parts of the town, you live around Elam and different. They'll sometimes put up Christmas trees and everything.
Right.
Christmas celebration, but they practice Hinduism. So why are they doing it? Because they got they eventually later on got the cup. You're gonna see it almost damn near came in order.
Right.
Because when you go into the next one, what was the next people that got it? Huh? After the Jerusalem and Judah.
Yeah.
See, because you had the northern tribes were keeping the customs that was given to from Esau first back in the 1500s. And Judah, you know?
Right.
Yep.
All this Babylonian customs. Because Esau is known as the daughter of Babylon, Edom, right?
That's right.
So they have to have Babylonian customs. That's why all these things can go back, you can trace them back to ancient Babylon.
That's right.
Go ahead,
This is Jeremiah chapter 25, verse 19. Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and his servants, and his princes, and all his people.
Yep, and all his people. Because when you also go into it, even with, because this is talking about reversing it. It's talking about the Babylonians, but this is also fast forwarding spiritually to Esau in today's time. Because when you go through Jeremiah, a lot of the prophecies that go back and forth, Babylon one chapter, the next chapter is talking about, and they be saying the same exact thing. All they did was just change the name of Babylon to Edom.
That's it.
That's it.
But you be like, man, hold on, you say the same verse. It's like a chorus. It's like hearing a chorus on repeat. Go ahead,
And all the mingled people, and all the kings of the land of Uz, and all the kings of the land of the Philistines, and the Ashkelon, and Azah, and Ekron, and the remnant of Ashdod.
Yeah, because even when you go into ancient Greece, one of the first places they also conquered too was them Egyptians. That was, the Egyptians, because you got the, what's it called? What's this guy? Ptolemy. Yeah, the Ptolemaic dynasty.
Yeah.
So they Hellenized them with that cup. But in the last days, every nation is getting Hellenized really by Esau.
Right.
Again. With Babylon, which the Babylonians, they were able to do that. And going back to Nebuchadnezzar in that time, the Neo-Babylonian Empire. They got all the nations. They had the largest realm, and they officially actually got all the nations under them. Because when you go into the Assyrian Empire, they didn't have Judah. The Babylonian Empire was the first one that had literally all nations in their empire. All biblical nations in all the known world, they had them all.
Right.
Go ahead,
Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon.
Edom and Moab, and the children of Ammon. Okay, which now Edom is the one who's been set up to push the cup. Moab and Ammon. You got these Moabites and Ammonites very close to Esau, man.
Oh yeah.
Especially Moab.
Oh yeah.
That shows you that they know each other from the ancient world. Because how can Moab and Edom work so well together?
Right.
Now, when you look at the map on the this is why it's all spiritual. When you look at the map, Edom is south of Moab.
Right. Yeah.
Look at that.
So that's the reason why you see the so-called Chinese woman with the so-called,
Yeah.
That's why you see the Edomite man with the Moabite woman.
I done seen that.
It's been going on
since we've been out here. I done seen about 3 of them like that.
Yeah, and that was going on in the ancient world.
Yeah.
That's why they feel so comfortable with each other. And then Ammon was north of Moab. And Ammon didn't even really deal with Edom, so they didn't really like dealing with them. That's the reason why Ammon to this day is very anti-everybody else.
Yeah. Because
they were isolated to a certain degree. You don't really see many Ammonites really trying to get with Esau on that level like you see with Moab. Because they wasn't neighbors. In the ancient world, they wasn't neighbors.
That's right.
Go ahead.
And all the kings of Tyrus, and all the kings of Zidon.
That's the Canaanites. The Canaanites, they got the cup too.
Yeah.
That's the reason why when you go into different aspects of history, and a lot of people don't know, the people in the slave trade in the west coast of Africa, those were Canaanites. A lot of them were Canaanites. That was actually prophecy in Amos, the 1st chapter, that they would trade to Esau. Now, when you go into the cup includes education. Now, when you go into the history of a lot of those slave trading empires in Africa, they went up to Europe to go study in the universities in Europe. Their kids and everything. This is in the 1600s, 1700s. They was actually, when you went back then, if you could get a time travel machine and go back to Spain, Portugal, France, and all these places, you would actually have seen Canaanites going to their universities, getting trained up in the ways of Esau.
Right.
And they would come back and bring those trainings back to their land.
Still see that today.
Yeah.
So that's what happens. But all nations are partaking of this.
Right. Right.
Because that's, hey, Jake does that. Jake comes from Haiti and
Comes
go to
straight.
school, and the Caribbeans and do the same thing. But this is, I'm talking about in this order of according to these different nations.
right.
Because we're going to go into that whole breaking down things like the other nations, Canaan and all that stuff. We're going to, Abba Rataz will do that one of these days. You know, we'll actually, just some of this stuff we're talking about, we can show you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ak.
And the kings of the isles, which are beyond the sea.
The kings of the isles, which are beyond the sea, which is talking about Japheth.
Japheth.
Because when you go into Genesis, the 10th chapter, it refers to Japheth as basically possessing the isles of the sea. Go ahead, Ak.
Dedan, and Tamar, and Buz, and all that are in the uttermost corners, and all the kings of Arabia, and all the kings of the mingled people that dwell in the desert.
And see, when you go into this whole thing, this is all happening in a historical timeline.
Yeah.
Because see, it doesn't even get to the Arabs. So it doesn't get to the Arabs until all these people had gotten it first.
Yeah.
Because when you go into when Esau took over the Renaissance period, he actually dealt with the people above him first before he dealt with everybody else.
Right.
He got Jake to go off and believe in the customs. That's the reason why when Esau came down, he got the whole northern kingdom indoctrinated into the ways of his customs. You see that with pictures with he got the Jesuits putting Cesare and Mary worship upon the northern tribes.
Right.
Right? And then the other people were getting it from education or other things. If they kept their customs, they're still drinking of that wine because Arabs did it too. Even though they keep their so-called custom of being into Islam, they also are going into universities. Why they got universities? The Esau gave it to them. When you come down here to Houston, you go to U of H, they go to schools. They go to these colleges and get degrees.
Right.
Coming straight from the Arabians. Go ahead, Al.
Right. And all the kings of Arabia, and all the kings of the mingled people that dwell in the desert, and all the kings of Zimri, and all the kings of Elam.
Wait. So Elam is like one of the last people that got it.
Yeah.
When you go down that list, Elam is the last people that got it. Because when you go back into the 60s, you really had a lot of the Elamites, really in the early part of the 20th century, they were very isolated.
Yeah.
They didn't want to deal with the rest of the world. Then you had the Ayatollah come up, and you had the whole thing with the Persians. They changed their name to Iran.
Right. Right.
And all that stuff. And then they started sending their kids over here to go to school. That's what you started seeing in the 70s when you had OPEC created. You started seeing Elamites coming out and going to colleges
Yeah.
over here, especially the Persians. Go ahead, Al.
And all the kings of Elam, and all the kings of the Medes, and all the kings of the north, far and near, one with another, and all the kingdoms of the world.
Yeah, so now they got all the kingdoms of the world drinking that wine. And that's why it tells you also when it goes into the prophecies, it tells you the nations were angry.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Well, keep going.
Which are upon the face of the earth. And the king of Shishak shall drink after them. Therefore thou shalt say unto them, Thus said the Most High of Hosts, the power of Israel, drink ye and be drunken, and spew and fall and rise no more, because of the sword which I will send among you. And it shall be, if they refuse to take the cup at thy hand to drink, then shalt thou say unto them, Thus said the Most High of Hosts, ye shall certainly drink.
Yeah, so even if Ishmael and all these other nations, you fighting so hard because you don't want Babylon to come up in your land,
You gonna drink?
you gonna drink of it, man.
Yeah.
And you see that how hard in different territories. When you go to like Afghanistan, at least over the last 15 years, right?
Yeah.
They've been fighting heavily against the. They don't want. Oh, what's part of the drink, God? Women ruling over men.
Right.
They don't want that. They were fighting against that because they know when these people come, they're going to bring nothing but, in fact, go to Habakkuk. We're going to bring it down. Right?
Man. They gonna
he said, you shall surely drink of it.
you gonna have to.
He said, and to those that don't want to drink it, you surely going to drink of it. Go ahead and guzzle that down because this prophecy, you all got to go off.
Yeah, because Ishmael's a wild man, man. What is this prophetic mandate? He shall dwell with his brothers. His hand will be against every man, and every man against him.
Yeah.
And so, he trying to fight against it, but hey, he still got to drink that cup.
Yeah. And as part of it is accepting also, to a certain degree, the New World Order, starting with the kings of these nations.
Right.
Because all of them are being pushed to accept the upcoming New World Order, the destruction of the currency being put into that United Nations block.
Right.
That's, and having them central banks. That's part of the wine. Right. And Elam is like one of the first ones refusing that central banking system. That's why a lot of the countries that U.S. is going to war against didn't have a central bank.
Right. What you say? Elam was the first one to what?
No, so Elam is one of the last ones.
Oh, the last one.
On this list when you're going through the prophecies,
right?
They're like at the bottom.
Right.
Because they haven't yet accepted. That's why the Khazars, those people in our land, they trying to say things about Iran. Oh, they got nuclear missiles and stuff. No, you really just want them to just say, okay, we'll allow the central bank to come in.
Right.
That's why they had to kill Gaddafi.
Right.
Because he was wanting to do the gold.
Yeah.
He used the gold and the minerals to back up an African currency.
Yeah.
And they said, no, he can't do that. That's not part of the plan.
Take him out.
Too much money if they would did that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
Bro,
Africa is saturated, bro.
Africa would have completely collapsed the global economy.
Yeah, man. They saturated with gold, bro.
It would have been like, there's a time in the scriptures it's not said, but there is a time called that's really the age of Ham.
Yeah.
There was a time for a few thousand years where Ham was ruling.
Right.
They had all the bread, they had all the kingdoms. That's the reason why that's why everything works the way it is. They were ruling going back after Noah.
Right.
After Noah was pretty much done. When you go into when everywhere Abraham went, he was dealing with another nation within Ham that was ruling wherever he went. He went to, so that stuff would have just boom. As far as the nation, I'm talking about, because when you go into Africa, every nation is represented. Every biblical nation is in Africa. I did a lesson on that. But we're just talking about as a global, as a landmass.
Right.
Now, go ahead.
Habakkuk 2.
Yeah, Habakkuk 2.
From the top.
Yes, I'm from the top.
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Most High answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon the table,
There you go.
that he may run that read it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it shall surely come. It will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith.
Yeah, so and it says as hell is death. You get that? Yeah. There it is.
Chapter 5.
Chapter 5.
Yeah, that was 4 where I just finished.
Go to 5.
Ye also, because he transgresses by wine.
Right,
He is
right.
a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied.
So you cannot be satisfied. That's the reason why this man continues to take from everybody.
Right.
He wants everybody under his control. He wants the whole world. He wants every square inch to be controlled by him. And he's as death. That's the reason why all these nations that he comes to, they become base. Completely base. That's why people don't even understand when you go into, I'm just even talking about the other nations. Esau, there's an Edomite, he's part of the alt-right.
Right.
The alt-right is a new group that's basically, they create these new groups to basically, under the umbrella of really Edomite supremacy, but they just calling it the alt-right. Now this guy is like a so-called professor researcher. He said that so-called colored people, or people that are black people, so-called black people, which they're lumping in Jake, they lumping in
Ham and
nations within Ham and things like that, didn't know anything, didn't have no written language. Now, even though Jake was the one who created the written language,
Right.
the Paleo alphabet, the Greek alphabet, our alphabet that we're reading from right now is based on the Paleo Hebrew. The Alap character, the A, it looks exactly the same.
Right. Right.
The Da, that's a delta symbol used by the Greeks. When you go through them different characters, we had the first writing system.
That's right.
Now, even when you talk about before there was anything such thing as a white man on the planet, even the other nations, Ham was writing. Look at Hammurabi's code.
Yeah.
They was doing that. First of all, there's no written manuscript written by what people would consider the so-called white man up until probably the first century BC, first millennium.
Yeah.
When you go into ancient Greece, that's when you can first find their first artifacts of writing. But now look what you've done. You've debased the people of all these different nations where a lot of them don't even know how to read and write. You get where I'm coming from, huh?
Yeah.
That's how low he brought all these other nations.
All of them, bro. So,
now, go ahead, what you say?
Yeah, so that they could be the pinnacle, man.
So they can be the pinnacle. So read that again.
Take on Style Nation.
Yeah.
You just read the whole verse.
Yeah, read the whole verse. Read the whole verse again, and then we'll go to Isaiah 14.
He also, because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home.
Yeah, that's the reason why they have to go around the whole world and conquer everything. They cannot. They have to go to Iraq. They gotta go everywhere and conquer everywhere.
Yeah.
That's what they did. They came and took this land from our brethren. With no shameless, right?
Right,
shameless nation. They have no remorse about it at all.
Yep.
And Jake gets messed up because they go to a protest like the North Dakota, and they see them people there. They see them and they think that they're their friends.
Right.
They want to save the water. They care more about preserving the environment than preserving you.
Yeah.
If you really talk to them people, you people that are calling yourself North American Indians over there, when you examine what they're there for, they're there to really save the environment, not you. They don't give a damn if you people disappear off the planet.
Right. Because see, just like it states that, it speaks in the scripture talking about in vain shall they help you. Because see, that's on Jake's side, we getting